Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world, and welcome back to another Vlogmas video. And another Vlogmas video surely means another soup. Yes, it does. So today I'm going to do a carrot, sweet potato and chorizo soup. Should be absolutely delicious. Worked it out on the app for the sins. I'll get into that in a little bit, but yeah, this should be a very low sin, but delicious winter warmer. And just at the right moment, the pup has to start barking. If it's not the pup, it's the cats. It's not the cats, it's the family. I don't know. Right, anyway, let's get into the ingredients and let's get cooking. See you in a bit. Okay, folks, so ingredient-wise for our soup today, I've got 2 carrots, a celery stick, I've got a medium-sized onion, I've got 3 sweet potatoes, a bay leaf, chicken stock, I've got 500ml of water, salt, pepper, medium curry powder, 1 cal rapeseed oil, and the star of the show is the cooler chorizo. Now, on the app, it does say 3.5 sins for 25 gram. However, because I couldn't find this on the Slimming World app, I've actually inputted all the details on the back, and it's coming out with a sin estimate of half a sin per 100 gram. Now, I'm not sure if that's fully correct, but I have done it 3 times, and I've just took photos there of all the packaging and actually sent it off to them as well. But there's not a lot of sugar in this. There's only 2 gram of sugar per 100 gram. So yeah, it must be half a sin. So I'm just going to say it's a sin. It's a sin for 100 gram. And we'll just go from there. But yeah, just be careful with stuff like this, because it could trip you up if you don't check and double check. But yeah, I've got plenty of sins to use. I get 35 sins a day, so this isn't going to worry me too much anyway. But just in case if you're doing the same thing, yeah, make sure you check and double check the sin value. Anyway, enough of me waffling on. I'm going to get this prepped, and I'll come back to you before we get it in the pan. Okay, folks, so there is the ingredients prepped. So I've got my 100 gram of chorizo. I've got my 3 sweet potatoes, my 2 carrots, my celery stick, and my onion. Time to get it in the pan. Let's do it. Okay, folks, so first point of call, we're just going to get some of our 1 cal spray into the pan. Just a couple of squirts there, and what we're going to do is we're just going to fry off the chorizo first, just to release the oils. So if we just get that in the pan, we'll bring it up to temperature and we will fry it off for a couple of minutes until the oils come out. See you in a sec. Okay, folks, so the oil has now come out of the chorizo. It's only been about 1.5 to 2 minutes, and all I'm going to do, just with a slotted spoon, I'm just going to remove the chorizo from the pan, but leave as much as that oil in there. That is banks full of flavour. Yeah, that'll be copyright. Okay, folks, so as you can see there, I've actually left that oil in the pan. Just going to move my chorizo out of the way, or chorizo, or however you want to pronounce it. It's entirely up to you. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go in with our onions. And we're just going to stir. little piece. Yeah, that chorizo's nice and spicy. I can feel it at the back of my throat already. Hence the few little coughs. Lovely stuff. Right, I'm going to sweat this down for a minute or two and I'll bring you straight back. Okay folks, so now that the onions have sweated down a little bit, we're now going to add our celery and our carrots and everything else that remains on this board. The chorizo is very strong on this one. That's not a lie. I've just had to get a couple of big gulps. Yeah, it's a bit strong, a bit spicy. But I suppose when I said at the start that there was only 2 grams of sugar per 100 gram, yeah, it's because it's a spicy chorizo and not a sweet one. So I'm going to sweat these down again, just for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and then I'll come back and we will add the rest. See you in a sec. Okay folks, so we've sauteed these for a little bit. I'm just going to go in now with a bit of seasoning, so a little bit of salt there, some cracked black pepper, plenty of that. Don't be scared of the black pepper. If you hear the dog in the background, he's very excited. He's only a pup, and I've called him Whiskey. So I'm just going to get in the air, give this a good mix up. Stirry whirry, mixy wixy as we say. And then we're now going to go in with our water. So I've got my 500 ml of water here. Going to go in with the water. We're going to go in with the chicken stock when I can finally open it. Oh, that chorizo's still strong, folks. Crikey. Is it gonna? Is it gonna? Of course it is. So I'm just going to give that a little stir. And then we're going to go in with our sweet potato. Get all that in the pan. Happy days. Submerge it in the water. Now this is going to be a nice thick soup, so don't worry if you think, oh, there's not enough water there. You can always add a little bit if you so wish to, but I quite like my soups a little bit thick. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to let that come to the boil, and then before I add the lid, I'll add some of the chorizo back in. We'll cook it down, and then we'll simmer it for about 20 minutes before we give it a blitz. Right, I will see you guys in a sec. Okay folks, so the soup has now come up to a boil, and all I'm going to do, I'm just going to re-add our chorizo, or chorizo, or however you like to say it. It's entirely up to you. I always say chorizo. That's just me. Don't hate. And what I'm doing here is I'm just leaving some of the pieces back. I'm just holding them back because I want to decorate my plate at the end. So we just get this in, give it a stir, give it a good old mix up. Sure nothing's catching on the bottom, which there isn't. And then all I'm going to do, I'm just going to put the lid on, and I'm going to reduce the heat. So I'm going to reduce it from 9 down to 4, and I'm going to simmer it for around 18 to 20 minutes, and
I'll bring you back when I give it a stir in about 5 minutes time. But for yous, it'll be in a tick. See you in a bit. Okay folks, so this has now been in there for and simmering away for about 10 minutes. I've actually managed to wash some pots and things. Just look at the colour on that. Oh yes. It's smelling great. Things are starting to soften up a little bit. Nothing is sticking. Perfect. I am tempted to have a little taste now, but I will not. I will leave it till later. So all I'm going to do, I'm just going to simmer this now for another 10 minutes. Just keep that lid on so that water doesn't evaporate. And yeah, I'll bring you back when it's time to whizzy-woo it all up, and job will be a good one. I'll see you in a sec. Okay folks, so this is now at 20 minutes in total to simmer away and do its thing. I'm just going to give it a little stir. Yeah, nice and soft. Nothing stuck to the bottom, which is fantastic. So just before we whiz it up, I'm just going to go in with a half a teaspoon of the medium curry powder. So I'm just going to get that in there. That's just to give it a little bit of depth to the dish, as well as add to the colour. So yeah, this is now done. So the next step is, let's blitz it. Okay folks, so time to blitz our soup. So I'm just going to get the whizzy in there, the good old Mr. Phillip, and just start small pulses at first. And then just build your way up. So I'm going to blitz the rest of this and I'll come straight back to you. Okay folks, so the soup is now whizzed up and ready to be plated. So I'm just going to go in now and plate our soup up. It smells amazing, really does. I'm a little bit greedy when it comes to soup, so I reckon 3 ladlefuls is my type of thing. So I just put that back in there, and then I'm just going to go over with a few of those pieces of chorizo that we kept back earlier on, if you remember when we added him. Don't mind my fingers, it's only me going to eat these, so kind of is what it is when it comes to that point. And then all I'm going to do, I'm just going to add a little bit of cracked black pepper, if I can find it. There it is. I want to put the cracked black pepper on top, and then I'm just going to add a little bit of my Maldon garlic sea salt, which will just give it a nice garlicky flavour, as well as just the salt to enhance it. So there we have it folks. There is today's soup. Absolutely delicious, looks amazing. It looks like it's going to be really tasty, and yeah, I can't wait to dig in. So thank you for joining me on another video, and I will catch you for Vlogmas Day 5 tomorrow. I will see you then. Adios.